All right, today I want to talk a little bit about racism. I know in the news, there's been a lot of stuff first, like the shootings and of black unarmed black people and stuff like that. But one thing, one one thing that the people have to realize, if you don't live here in America, is that racism, it just wasn't popped up. It just didn't pop up all by itself. This was mainly a system that was created. Uh, the reason why it was created was for economic reasons. Um, Now, during slavery, there was white slaves and black slaves. But after slavery, the people had, meaning the elite, the slave masters, they had to create a system that would gonna benefit that would benefit them. So they created this fictitious racism, uh, garbage stuff, to use different sects of people, different groups of people, as they classified, to mainly work on their side. I'm going to try to explain it a little bit more in detail. Um, During slavery, there was black slave owners and white slave owners. So mainly it wasn't too much of a distinction on who could be slave owners. So, but they did kind of delineate on this a little bit later. I don't know why did they try to delineate slavery, but anyway, they did try to, like, say, all right, you black people can only own black slaves, and white slaves we can own anybody except you have to be a non-Christian. So they delineated it that way. So I guess they was trying to, like, get around some of the, I guess, international laws that was in place, saying that slavery was outlawed. So what they did was say, okay, now this particular person, he's non-Christian, because that was mainly the international law, was that you couldn't enslave Christians, but you can enslave anybody else that wasn't Christian. So they said, all right, this guy here, or whatever. He's a savage. They would name people savages, so they could get around saying that they wasn't Christians. So, oh, this guy here, he's a savage, and we're trying to rehabilitate all these savages. So back, I want to get back to the slavery aspect of things, from why they actually did it, created racism. They realized that they had, I don't know, say this, they had too many blacks or whatever. I don't want to necessarily use that, as an excuse for them doing away with slavery or whatever. But I will say that they tried to use slavery especially they delineated different groups of people to try to use that to benefit them as far as like going forward after slavery. For instance, they would say, okay, you white guys here, you light-skinned white guys here, okay, you didn't come from Africa, you came from somewhere in the Middle East, and you guys are Arabs or something like that, So anyway, so most people, they believed it because most of the slaves, especially, the white slaves, they grew up, they was picked off the streets when they was kids. They were sold into slavery at a really young age, so they don't know nothing about nothing. And so mainly, I think the education system here in this country has really done its job as far as like brainwashing the former slaves into believing, something that never really it's not legitimate, But anyway, the education system it really done a good job as far as like brainwashing people. They didn't know because they never found out or nobody. Well, anyway, back to the racism part. As far as the whites go, they have been told, this and that and this and that. But I think what really brought racism into the forefront after slavery was that all these necessarily stories about this and that, but I think what really helped them was from the black slave masters, the black elite. I think that their contribution to racism really tipped the scale, blew it out of the atmosphere, really made it really astronomical, because of the Atlanta Compromise that Booker T. Washington, when he stated that after the Civil War, a lot of the black slave masters, the black elite, they started supporting the Republicans and the Union, and so in the South there was, I guess a lot of suspicion that these black elites, they wouldn't support the people in the South. So also they would say, oh, you guys are bringing all these carpetbaggers, meaning the Jews. You guys are supporting the Jews, and you screwing over us, and come on, you black guys, you got to help us out a little bit. So I think the Atlanta Compromise brought racism into the forefront when Booker T. Washington, his Atlanta Compromise, saying that, okay, you guys can do whatever you want with us. You can be discriminate against us. You can treat us like anything, like this and that, and we're gonna accept and we're gonna go along. We're gonna support you guys. Such and such. That really brought racism, to the forefront. That really, kicked it up to to the ninth degree when the blacks got involved and they brought racism to the forefront. That's the one thing I think that really brought racism to America. I mean, it really kicked it to the ninth degree. Booker T. Washington and the Atlanta Compromise.